So if you're watching this, look at what you're doing to the kid, man.
Talk was definitely worth the money. You know how they was like, yo, when you take the talk or the money, it was definitely worth it. You just saying, you know, like, to believe in yourself and just always like follow like what's in your heart and not what no one else is saying or anything. Just do it.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. Why is everyone having such a hard time? He ain't doing shit different.
But I do know this, that it's only 3 people that had contracts with Puff and Bad Boy.
Because he's the acceptable monster at this time.
Girl, hold up, did you hear what Diddy's son just said? He's out here threatening to spill all the tea in Jay-Z, and Beyonce. The streets are saying he's got some dirt that could shake up the whole music industry. This is not just your regular celebrity drama. We're talking about some serious accusation here. Diddy's son is claiming that J&B set his daddy up, and he's ready to expose it all. You don't want to miss this tea, trust me.
Yeah, should they speak up now? Should they speak up now?
I think it's getting a little too late for those who are complicit. For the victims who have been too afraid to come forward because the diddler has been running around with impunity. It's time for all of the victims to come forward. But for the people that have been denying it, you know what? Let's not be coy. You know, I am Jaguar. So let's just keep it a buck. Let's keep it a bean. Stevie J should be charged. Mary J. Blige should also be charged. Jennifer Lopez should definitely be charged. Should I keep going?
I mean, you're hitting it off.
Jay-Z should be charged. Khaled should be charged. Rick Ross should be charged. Usher should be charged and tried with him.
Girl, let me tell you about this family drama that's about to blow up. Diddy's son ain't playing around no more. He's ready to put it all on the line. And I'm talking everything. This young king is stepping into the spotlight, and he's coming for the Carters with both guns blazing. But why now? What's got Diddy's air so fired up? He's willing to take on Jay-Z and Bean. The streets are talking, and they're saying there's some bad blood between Diddy and Jay that goes way back. We're not just talking about a little tiff or some petty beef. This is deep, deep stuff that's been simmering for years. You see, in the music biz, everything ain't always what it seems behind those flashy videos and chart-topping hits. There's a whole world of secret rivalries and hidden agendas. And now it looks like all that dirty laundry is about to get aired out for the world to see. The tea I'm hearing is that Diddy and Jay have been playing a game of chess for years, each one trying to outdo the other. But it wasn't just about who had the hottest track or the biggest mansion. Now this was about power, influence, and who really runs the game. And apparently things got real nasty behind the scenes.
Well, I would say this. It's kind of funny to me, man, is that Diddy used to hate Jay-Z. He hated Jay-Z enough when he was trying to get Ja Rule to go at Jay-Z. This is back in the early 2000s. And one day, Asler, Kushner, Diddy, and myself went to a Nets game and we met Jay-Z. I've never been a Jay-Z fan, you know, like some of his music, the whole 9 yards. But when we went over to the, I think that was Prudential Center in Newark, and him and Puff met up, it was strange to me. Because I remember what Puff was trying to do. And then both of them, they was talking about something amongst each other, amongst all of us, and laughing and joking with each other. Then over the years, I see them giving garden parties. You understand what I'm saying? you could tell that the people in power had gave that reign to Diddy, and Jay was next in line. So to separate him, when in fact they may be two of the same, but because Jay-Z is low-key, that low-key sneaky shit, and Diddy is and was rambunctious, you know, just out with it. It don't mean that they not two of the same. One just a little quieter with his shit.
What happened at the basketball game? When they ran into, you guys ran into Jay-Z?
They was just talking. They was talking amongst each other about their little white girls. They little skinny white girls.
And I mean, did Diddy always say negative things about Jay around you?
The time he was trying to get Ja Rule to go at Jay, yeah, he was. They worked it out.
Was there a reason behind it?
I couldn't tell you the reason behind it. It's probably because Big had died. I don't know what it was, man. I don't know why he wanted Ja Rule to go at Jay. I guess if he kept them beefing or kept them into some bullshit, he could rise up in between both of them.
We're talking years of backstabbing sneaky deals and trying to one-up each other, like remember when Diddy's Bad Boy Records was on top of the world? Well, some folks are saying Jay was working overtime to knock him off that throne, and when Jay-Z's Rock Nation started dominating, there were whispers that Diddy was plotting his comeback. But honey, this ain't just about music, it's personal, and it's about to get real messy. We're hearing that there might be some dirt involving business deals, gone wrong, broken promises, and maybe even some stuff that could land people in hot water with the law, the kind of tea that could ruin reputations and end careers. And now Diddy's son is stepping up to defend his pops, and he's not holding nothing back. He's saying he's got receipts that'll prove that Carter set his dad up. We're talking emails, text messages, maybe even some recorded conversations, the kind of evidence that could blow this whole thing wide open. But you know what, this ain't just about clearing Diddy's name. Nah, it's about exposing the truth and showing the world that even the biggest stars in the game ain't untouchable. Diddy's son is ready to risk it all to stand by his family, and he don't care who gets caught in the crossfire. Now honey, you know the Carters ain't going to take this lying down. They've built an empire on their squeaky clean image and business savvy. If even half of what Diddy's son is claiming is true, it could shake the very foundation of their throne. And let me tell you, when royalty feels threatened, they fight back hard, so buckle up, cause this drama is just getting started. We might be about to witness the biggest showdown in hip-hop history. It's Diddy's heir versus the Carter dynasty, and there's no telling who's going to come out on top. The plot thickens, and girl, I've got a feeling we ain't seen nothing yet.
Now, Carisha and Rick Ross just sat down together in an interview.
Yeah, I know. Two Diddy doo-wop bops. What a reunion. Only thing they got
Now,
Will Diddy start snitching?
do it up. Yeah,
he better. He better. But the only thing I'm interested in him talking about is everything he knows about Kathy Coriana White. See, I know you know what happened, Corey. Diddy, I know that. You and Jay-Z down in Vegas at Tao with Claudia. Why don't you just talk about Kathy? That might help. That might help a lot.
I was saying, if those who don't know who Kathy is.
Kathy Coriana White. Jay-Z's pregnant mistress, who died 24 hours after she announced that she was going public with their relationship and the baby while he was married to Beyonce.
Now,
Was
Jack,
it an aneurysm, Diddy? Or are you the one who paid the same coroner that you... Oh, Diddy, you should talk.
do you feel the federal government will probably speak to Jay-Z in regards?
They already have.
Oh,
They talked to him before he made that Super Bowl announcement. Isn't that interesting? He was questioned by the feds before he made the Super Bowl announcement. Blink twice.
Now you might be thinking, how could things possibly get any messier? Well, hold on to your wigs, cause we're about to spill some scalding hot tea. Remember when everyone thought Diddy and Jay-Z were tight? Turns out that friendship might have been faker than a $3 bill. The question is just how deep does this betrayal go? Listen up, cause this tea is piping hot and ready to be spilled. The streets are buzzing with whispers that Jay and Bey might have played Diddy dirtier than a back alley dumpster. Weird, not talking about a little shade here and there. Nah, this is some next level betrayal that's got the whole industry shook. But how deep does this rabbit hole go, and what's really at stake here, girl? We're talking about power moves that would make Maki blush, secret deals signed in the shadow, and backstabbing so sharp because slick through diamonds. This ain't just about who's got the hottest track or the flyest video, it's about who controls the game, who pulls the string behind the scenes. You know how they say it's lonely at the top? Well, in the music biz, it's also dangerous. 1 minute you're on top of the world, the next you're yesterday's news, and it looks like someone might have been trying to speed up that process for Diddy. The industry's been in a tailspin ever since Diddy's legal trouble started making headlines, but now, Chayla, we're hearing that maybe, just maybe, it wasn't all Diddy's doing. Think about it, Diddy's been in the game for decades, building his empire brick by brick. Bad Boy Records, John Ciro. The man's got his fingers in more pies than a bakery, but all of a sudden he's caught up in all this legal drama. Something ain't adding up and people are starting to ask questions.
Oh, this about to get fun for me.
yeah. Let me ask.
There's nothing like, have you ever seen what happens to a rat when it's trapped in a heated environment?
Oh, it'll eat through anything.
Claw eat its way through anything. So I want y'all to imagine this. I got Jay-Z on his back with his stomach exposed. Diddy is the rat that I'm using. And I'm gonna take a metal trash can and put it right on Jay-Z's stomach with Diddy right in there. And I'm gonna heat that bitch up and see what he eat through. Fuck you, Sean. Both of y'all. I got you, bitch. I told you.
As the U.S. attorney came on and spoke on the indictment, next to him you see 6 U.S. AUSAs, his assistant attorneys. I believe 1 pregnant, 1 a little older, but all white women. What are your thoughts on that when you see 6 women assisting the U.S. attorney?
A small choruses of Nancy Graces?
Basically.
I think it's fabulous.
Yeah. Need it.
Sean P. Combs, he's a bad guy. Can't wait to see it.
Now, I'm not one to spread rumors without receipts, but the streets are talking. They're saying that while Diddy was out here thinking he was playing chess, the Carters were playing for the underwater backgaming. We're hearing whispers about secret meetings, deals made behind closed doors, and promises broken faster than a New Year's resolution. But here's where it gets real juicy. Diddy's son isn't just running his mouth, he's claiming he's got proof that the Carter set his dad up to take the fall. We're talking hard evidence, the kind of stuff that could blow this whole thing wide open. Emails, text messages, maybe even some recorded conversations that could make Watergate look like child's play. If this is true, could change everything we thought we knew about these music mogul. We're not just talking about a little industry beef anymore. This could be the kind of scandal that rewrites music history. Imagine finding out that the power couple we've all been bowing down to for years might have been playing dirty all along. And let's be real, the stakes couldn't be higher. We're talking about empires here, records labels, streaming services, clothing lines, liquor brands, the kind of money that makes regular millionaires look broke. If Son really has what he says he has, it could topple dynasties and reshape the entire industry landscape. But you know what they say, the higher you climb, the harder you fall. And if the Carters really did set Diddy up, they must have known they were playing with fire, cause now they're facing off against a man with nothing left to lose and a son who's ready to risk it all to clear his father's name. So grab your popcorn and settle in, cause this drama is far from over. We're about to witness a showdown that could shake the very foundations of the music industry. And honey, when the dust settles, ain't nothing going to be the same. The question is, are you ready for the truth?
Things can be true at once. Diddy could be an absolute dirtbag, guilty of everything. But also, Jaguar Wright could be looking for her 15 minutes of fame. Prior to this week, this month, have you ever heard of this person?
I have.
So, okay, I don't know where parties you're at with that baby.
Not parties, but she's been in front of the camera for a while.
I've never heard of her.
Okay.
I've been listening to hip hop since, Beastie Boys did Brass Monkey in '86.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this person. She's now, if you type in Google, if you type in Jag, what's the first thing that pops up? I guarantee you it's her. Not the Jacksonville Jaguars or an actual Jaguar. She's the first thing that pops up. So she's utilizing this 15 minutes of fame, and there she is right there. Here's what I'll also say about Diddy. This was
what song she was in?
No.
Big Pimpin'. You know what other song she was in?
Big Pimpin', spending.
You know what other song?
That's Jay-Z.
Yeah. You remember the movie with Denzel? American Gangster, while that one guy comes out with the song Heart of the City.
Yeah.
You know the Heart of the City?
Yeah.
Ain't no more.
It was a remake
That's
of
her.
80s.
She's in it.
Okay.
She's in those two songs.
She's a backup singer.
She is.
She's
backup singer for Jay-Z in 2001.
Okay, but she ain't Beyonce. She ain't Rihanna.
She has been around.
She's been around.
I'm not denying that she's been around it. They're interviewing her for a reason. Here's what I found the most interesting about Diddy overall. This was David Muir was actually, he's the ABC guy, big news guy. He was interviewing, I guess, the guy that's handling a lot of the sexual allegations about Diddy, and he's receiving a lot of phone calls. Here's the most interesting thing about these sexual allegations. Yeah, I don't know if it was him or a different lawyer, but it was on ABC. You can check that out. He goes, talk about a gender difference. It's so interesting about Diddy. He goes, prior to 2005, it was actually 50-50, these allegations that kept coming in, men and women. 50% men, 50% women. But how about this? After 2005, it was 90% men allegations. Something happened with Diddy, allegedly, where he went, this isn't it. But it went from 50-50 allegations, receiving these phone calls, receiving what's going on, doing all these sort of testimonies, to 90% men. When there's smoke, there's fire, Diddy.
Yeah, and
what's going on in that baby
Alex
oil?
Spiro, Pat, was on TMZ, and he said to those two guys, whatever their names are, I didn't send a cease and desist. I sent an ultimatum. Remove that false accusation, or a court is going to order you to.
Who said this?
That's Alex Spiro, right? That's it right there, Pat.
Can you play this?
To you that somebody comes on a show and then kind of levels these vague-ish allegations. Were you kind of ready for something like this to eventually happen?
Listen, there's rumors and then there's nonsense, and this is one step further, right? This is a pointed and formal accusation of something. I felt it needed to be responded to. So I think somebody reported it was a cease and desist. It wasn't that. It was quite bluntly an ultimatum, which is remove that false accusation that's demonstrably false, or a court's going to order you to. And so I think he made the wise choice and acted accordingly.
He meaning Piers Morgan.
Yeah. Removing it and apologizing for it, yes. What changed here in my mind is that somebody on a so-called journalistic platform exploited that kind of random rumor mill, whether it's disconnected from reality
You can
or what
stop
have you.
Hold up, before we go any further, let me ask you this. What would it take to bring down the king and queen of hip-hop? Cause rumor has it Diddyson is sitting on a treasure trove of tea that could do just that, but is it all smoke and mirrors? Or is there real fire behind these claims? Now honey, you know in this game, it's all about them receipts, and Diddyson ain't just talking that talk, he's hinting he's got a whole filing cabinet full of dirt that could expose it all. We're talking about a gold mine of information that could shake the very foundation of the music industry. But what kind of tea are we really talking about here? Is it strong enough to take down the Carters? Or is it just lukewarm gossip, girl? The streets are buzzing with all kinds of theories, and let me tell you, some of this stuff is juicier than a Georgia peach. We're hearing whispers about secret recordings that could make Nixon's tapes look like child's play. Imagine being a fly on the wall in those private conversations. What kind of secrets could be hiding in those audio files? But that's not all. There's talk of shady contracts with more loopholes than a Bobby of Fruit Loops, the kind of paperwork that would make even the slickest lawyers scratch their heads. We're talking about deals made in the shadows, promises written in invisible ink and fine print, so small you need a microscope to read it. And don't even get me started on these late-night meetings the streets are saying there were powwows happening after hours that would make your head spin. Picture this: dimly lit rooms, hush voices, and plans being hatched that could change the game forever. Who was there? What were they plotting? Honey, if those walls could talk, they'd probably need their own reality show.
How many victims?
There was none for her.
How many victims potentially do you think there could be?
Thousands. Thousands.
Wow.
I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well.
Mr. Carter's who?
They're a nasty little couple.
Jay-Z.
They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim
Keeping people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious.
This girl's
There's
got
a
an
lot
agenda.
of things that
You can
people
tell.
don't want to talk about, Pierce.
She about to do a fake
But, okay,
I'm
but hold on, but Adam, but here's the thing. And again, it always sounds crazy and wild until it ain't, because, and who knows? She's not credible or lie detector test or whatever. What if she's right? What if all these things that she's seen, because she was a dominatrix. She said she used to work at these parties and tie guys up and whip them and everything like that. She was about that life. So when somebody that's about that life tells you about the life,
you giving her a lot of credibility?
I'm not. But Adam, where is she coming up with this stuff? She was at these places. She's seen it firsthand.
I'm not denying.
She was there.
Here, if I listen, you can go
play this clip.
Yeah,
first.
okay.
Play this clip, then we'll react. Go ahead, Rob.
The shocking allegations levelled at Sean Diddy Combs have burst the floodgates on salacious claims about an industry many people believe harboured a monster. Understandably, the internet's ablaze with claims about these events and whether other powerful figures were involved too. Well, last week I interviewed Jaguar Wright, a singer-songwriter who's made claims about Diddy for years. Those claims had already received a lot of attention in the media across many platforms for many years. And that's the thing about platforms. The reality of the modern world is that pretty much everyone has a platform as long as they have something to say that other people want to hear. That's why we invited her on to be interviewed. The people making these claims have an audience with or without shows like mine. Well, Jaguar Wright unexpectedly made several serious allegations about Jay-Z and Beyoncé during that interview.
Now, here's where it gets real interesting. There's chatter about offshore accounts and hush money floating around. We're not talking about spare change here either, and we're talking about the kind of figures that would make your bank account do a double take. If these rumors are true, it could explain a whole lot about how certain people have been able to keep their noses clean for so long. But here's the thing, girl, right now everybody's got a theory, but nobody knows the whole truth yet. It's like we're all trying to put together a jigsaw puzzle, but half the pieces are missing, and the other half might not even belong to the same picture. Diddy's son is holding his cards close to his chest, and the anticipation is killing us. If this boy really has what he says he has, it could be game over for J and B's squeaky clean image. We're talking about the kind of scandal that doesn't just rock the boat, it capsizes the whole damn yacht. Their empire is built on being untouchable, unshakable. But if even half of these rumors turn out to be true, we might be looking at them fall of a dynasty. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. You know the Carters ain't going down without a fight. They got more lawyers than you can shake a stick at, and you better believe they're already gearing up for battle. This ain't their first rodeo, and they've weathered storms before. But something tells me this might be the hurricane they weren't prepared for. One thing for sure, this is about to get uglier than a cat fight at a sample sale. The gloves are coming off and ain't nobody playing nice anymore, so grab your umbrella, cause when this tea starts spilling it's going to rain drama like we've never seen before.
And guess what happened in the end of that episode? When they finally tracked down the starlet who they were hiding from everyone, so she never had to testify. The male rapper took the charge, so the case was closed, and that's when she finally admitted that it was her that did the pow-powing. And they just let it ride. Isn't that funny? How similar does that sound to what really happened with J-Lo, Shine, and Diddy? And you want to know what's funny? Ice-T knows a lot of people from that time, and he used to frequent at that club. He would have known all of the real details of everything that happened that night. And rather than someone forcing it back into the law's hand, it became an episode for Law and Order SVU. A lot of money was made off of that. Natanya Rubin has not begun to see reparations for what happened to her life. How did NBC get to profit off of it? See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it was good enough to be a television episode, it should be good enough to be reopened for charges. Because clearly there were other people that knew the truth of that story.
The fact that Keefe D is in jail for Pac's murder, do you feel like they may go even deeper to the 90s in regards to just asking?
They have to, because that's the beginning of everything that's leading up to the tragedies that are about to happen now. We have to go back to the beginning. Everybody knows at this point in time, Keefe D ain't do it. He's already made it very clear he had a profit deal, which means he's been working with the government all this time. When are people going to start asking how long Diddy and Jay-Z have been cooperating with the government as well? Everybody was cooperating with the feds but them. Doesn't make any sense. What I do know, though, is that everyone is starting to notice things that they didn't notice 15, 20 years ago. Suge isn't looking like the monster that everyone painted him out to be. And Diddy sure ain't no quiet boy.
You thought that was messy. That's just the appetizer. Now imagine if I told you this drama could be the thread that unravels the whole damn tapestry of the music industry. What if Jay and Ba are just the tip of the iceberg and there's a whole Titanic-sized mess lurking underneath? Listen, if this tea gets spilled, it's going to leave stains all over the music biz. We're not just talking about a little scandal here. This is a potential earthquake in the hip-hop world, honey. The kind of shakeup that could change the game forever. And let me tell you, ain't nobody ready for what's coming. But here's the real tet who else might get caught in the crossfire. Cause you know, when it comes to the music industry, everybody's got dirt on everybody. It's like a big old web of lies. And we're about to find out just how far it really goes, girl. We could be looking at a domino effect that takes down more than just the actors. The streets are talking, and they're saying other big names might be involved. I'm talking celebrities, music executives, even some folks you thought were squeaky clean. Everybody's watching their backs, wondering if they're going to be the next one exposed. It's like a game of musical chairs. But when the music stops, somebody's career might be over. Think about it. If diddyson really has the goods on Jay and Bit, what's to stop him from spilling tea on everyone else? We could be looking at a whole new landscape in the music biz. Alliances that have stood for years could crumble overnight. Power couples might break up faster than you can say it. Reconcilable differences, and the folks sitting pretty at the top of the game, they might find themselves sliding all the way down to the bottom. Ba can get dragged like this. It's like the whole industry is holding its breath, wondering who's next on the chopping block. So keep your eyes peeled and your ears to the streets, cause this ain't over by a long shot. The next chapter in this saga could change everything we thought we knew about our faves. Stay tuned, cause the real show's just getting started, and thanks for watching my video.